My wife's toxic friends convinced her to disappear for a week to teach me a lesson about not helping enough around the house. But when I came home to find her gone with no explanation and thought something terrible had happened, I called the police and filed a missing person report, only to discover she was hiding at her sister's house laughing about my panic with her friends who filmed my breakdown for social media. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. He said that depending on the state laws, what Emma and her friends did could potentially be considered harassment, emotional distress, or even filing a false police report if they'd encouraged Emma to let the missing person case continue. When I showed Emma the screenshots of her friends mocking me online, something finally clicked for her. She was horrified and said she had no idea they'd been sharing the videos publicly. She immediately called Brooke and demanded she delete everything, which led to a huge fight between Emma and her friend group. Apparently, when Emma confronted them, they turned on her completely. Melissa told Emma she was being weak for giving in to my demands. Ashley said Emma was pussy whipped and that they were disappointed in her for not standing up to me. Brooke said that if Emma couldn't handle a little harmless fun, then maybe they weren't compatible as friends. Emma came to my brother's house the next day with tears in her eyes. She said she was finally seeing her friends for who they really were, and she was disgusted with herself for letting them influence her so badly. She said she'd blocked all three of them on everything and never wanted to see them again. She begged me to come home and try to work things out. She said she was going to start individual therapy to figure out why she'd been so susceptible to their toxic influence, and she wanted us to go to couples counseling together. I told her I appreciated that she'd finally cut contact with her friends, but that I still needed more time to decide if I could trust her again. The therapy was a good step, but it didn't undo the trauma of thinking she was dead for 4 days. Update 3. It's been 2 months since everything happened, and I wanted to give what might be my final update on this situation. Emma followed through on her promises. She started individual therapy immediately and has been going twice a week. She also found us a couples counselor, and we've been working through everything that happened. In therapy, we've unpacked a lot of issues that were underlying our relationship problems. Emma admitted that she'd been feeling insecure about our marriage for a while and had been looking for validation from her friends instead of addressing her concerns directly with me. Her therapist helped her understand that she'd been in a codependent relationship with her friend group, where she felt like she needed their approval to make decisions about her own life. The household responsibilities issue, which started this whole mess, turned out to be symptomatic of larger communication problems between us. We've worked out a system that feels fair to both of us, and more importantly, we've learned how to have productive conversations when one of us feels like things are unbalanced. I've also been in individual therapy to work through the trust issues and anxiety that developed after Emma's disappearance. For weeks after she came home, I would panic if she was even slightly late getting home from work. My therapist helped me understand that what I experienced was a form of trauma, and it's taken time to heal from it. The breakthrough moment in our couples counseling came when Emma truly understood the impact of what she'd done. Our counselor had her write down how she would feel if I disappeared for 4 days, letting her think I was dead, while I was actually hiding at a friend's house making fun of her panic. When Emma read her own words back describing that scenario, she broke down completely. She said she finally understood that what she'd done wasn't just a mistake or taking things too far, it was genuinely cruel. She said she couldn't believe she'd been so callous about my feelings and that she was ashamed of the person she'd become under her friend's influence. As for the legal side of things, my lawyer advised me that while we probably had a case for harassment or emotional distress, pursuing it would be expensive and time-consuming, and since Emma had cut contact with her friends and was working to make amends, it might be better to focus on healing our relationship instead. I did file a complaint with the police about Brooke posting the videos without my consent, and she was issued a warning about cyberbullying and harassment. She also had to delete all the videos and posts, though I'm sure screenshots exist somewhere. Emma's former friends apparently didn't take the end of their friendship well. Maya told me that they've been spreading rumors about Emma and me around town, claiming that I'm controlling and abusive for isolating Emma from her friends. Fortunately, most people who know us can see through their nonsense, especially since Emma's family and close friends have been supportive of her decision to cut them off. Final update. 6 months later, I'm cautiously optimistic about our marriage. Emma has continued with therapy and has made significant changes in how she approaches relationships and conflict resolution. She's built new friendships with healthier people who encourage her to communicate directly with me rather than plotting behind my back. We've established new boundaries and communication protocols that help us feel more secure. Emma checks in with me when she's going to be late, not because I demanded it, but because she understands how her previous actions affected my sense of security. Similarly, I've made consistent efforts to stay on top of household responsibilities because I understand how feeling unsupported affected her. The most important change is that Emma now runs any major decisions by me first, rather than letting friends influence her choices about our marriage. She's learned to think critically about advice from others and to prioritize our relationship over outside opinions. I won't lie and say everything is perfect. There are still moments when I feel anxious if Emma doesn't respond to a text quickly, and there are times when Emma feels guilty about what she put me through. But we're working through it together, and our relationship is honestly stronger than it was before this happened. The experience taught us both valuable lessons about trust, communication, and the importance of protecting our marriage from toxic outside influences. Emma learned that being a good friend doesn't mean blindly supporting someone's worst impulses, and I learned that I need to be more proactive about addressing relationship issues before they reach a breaking point. To anyone reading this who might be in a similar situation, toxic friends can destroy your relationship if you let them. If your friends are encouraging you to lie to, manipulate, or emotionally abuse your partner, they're not good friends. Real friends want to see your relationship succeed and will encourage you to communicate honestly with your partner, not to play mind games. And if someone you love disappears and makes you think they're in danger as a way to teach you a lesson, that's not love, that's abuse. No relationship problem is worth putting your partner through the trauma of thinking you're dead. I'm grateful that Emma was willing to do the hard work to rebuild our trust, but not everyone would be willing to come back from something like this. We're lucky that our story has a happy ending, but it easily could have gone the other way. Marriage is hard enough without sabotage from the inside. Protect your relationship, choose your friends wisely, and always remember that the person you married should be your first priority, not your friend's entertainment.
Promise you you'll catch me.